Howdy, and thank you for joining us for this installment of the Cayuse Proposals S2S video tutorial series. This tutorial will cover preparation and completion of the R&R budget form with an emphasis on using the escalation and replication function in Proposals S2S. So to get started, we're just going to dive right into completing the budget form itself. You're going to see a little bit about the navigation of the form as we go, and then finally we're going to talk about how subaward costs present themselves in the budget. So you may see some subaward costs throughout the budget, but we're going to talk about that at the end. So to get started, we're going to dive right into completing the senior key person section of the budget by clicking over here to manage key persons. I'm going to expand the field for the PI. As you can see here, the salary amount is already populated. This is pulled from the professional profile. If you do need to update this for any reason, you can. We're going to go ahead and enter the calendar months, and the requested salary amount is auto-calculated. We're going to leave fringe benefits alone for right now, and I will explain that here in just a minute. Now we're going to click the escalation icon, and you can see the 3% is already set. We're going to double check our start and end date periods to make sure we're escalating across all necessary periods, and we're going to pre-escalate in year 1. A reminder that anywhere you see these yellow question marks, you can click to get some additional information and how to. Next, we're going to click Escalate Key Person Salary and Benefits, and we're going to click OK just to confirm that that is what we're trying to do. As you can see, the base salary is escalated by 3% in each year, including period 1, and the requested salary is auto-calculated. Now we're going to manually enter the fringe benefits for each year. The reason we do this is because we do not apply a standard flat fringe rate, and so our fringe does not escalate standardly across all years. At this time, you can upload a bio sketch if you have it ready. If not, you can upload the bio at any time throughout the proposal process. And we're just going to do a little navigation through the budget to see that the information for the PI has populated the R&R budget. And now we're going to back up to the first period by selecting in the drop-down so that we can complete the rest of the form. As a quick note, if you have any other co-PIs or co-investigators, you basically repeat that process for those individuals as well before you close the window, and that information populates in the budget also. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to move on to other personnel, and I'm just going to add some information for a postdoc and a graduate student. Again, we're going to leave fringe benefits alone just for right now, and we will come back to that in a moment. We're going to go to the next page by navigating in the left-hand table of contents, and I'm just adding some additional funds and information for materials and supplies, travel, and graduate student tuition. As previously mentioned, we're going to see some subaward costs here. I will go through this at the end of the video. Your indirect cost information also auto-calculates based on the selection. The default is on-campus research. The indirect cost base is auto-calculated based on the exclusion selections throughout the proposal budget. And it automatically excludes capital equipment, participant support, and graduate student tuition as set in the institution profile. As a note about formulaic fields, any field that auto-calculates or auto-populates can be overridden at any time, not all of them, but most of them. If that needs to be done, or if that is the case by mistake, any overridden formulaic field is going to show this red star. In order to get rid of it or to reset the formula, you just simply delete the value in the field and click out of it, and it will reset the formula. Okay, we're going to come back to the first page, and we're going to replicate and escalate by clicking the escalation icon. And we're going to skip senior personnel because we've already done this, and we don't want to override the amounts that we already have set. So we're going to select other personnel, travel, materials and supplies, graduate student tuition, and any other categories that you may have values in that need to be replicated across all years. You'll see that the escalation rates are preset for other personnel and student tuition. You can set an escalation rate for anything else as necessary. Again, here we're going to make sure that our start period and end period are across all budget periods needed, and we're going to skip the pre-escalation in year 1. Next, we're going to click Escalate. And as you can see here in the other personnel, as we click through the periods, these salaries are escalated across all 5 periods. We're going to come back to period 1, and we're just going to take a look at the other categories as well. As you can see, when we click through, travel has simply replicated, as we did not set an escalation rate for travel. The same thing with materials and supplies. Also, as you click through, you can see that the graduate student tuition has been escalated by that designated 5% across all years. We're going to back up to the first period again, come to the first page for personnel, and we're going to manually enter the fringe rates for other personnel. I've already done this across all periods. As you can see, I'll click through each period. You do have to manually enter this for each budget period. Okay, at this stage we can double check our totals, make sure our total direct cost, total indirect cost, and total request from the sponsor match our internal budget spreadsheet used to prepare the final budget. You can also confirm that everything matches using the cumulative budget, which is page 4 of the total budget form. Next, the budget justification. You upload the budget justification just like any other document. You can edit the attachment name as needed and click upload. The main difference between this and the standard PDF form is that you can upload the budget justification in any budget period as convenient. Finally, we're going to take a look at the subaward costs and how they appear in the budget based on the information entered in the subaward budget attachment form. Totals are imported from the subaward budget attachment form, so there's no need to manually enter the subaward budget amounts. To learn how to do that, please see our tutorial video on importing subawards via a completed R&R subaward budget form. I have a sample subaward uploaded currently. You'll see that the $15,000 of the first period is included here in our funds requested column. And then there's also this section for allocated IDC base. This includes the amount for that year that is included in our IDC base up to the first $25,000. As you can see here, this shows $15,000, and in the second year it shows $10,000. This reaches our $25,000 max. And if we click through periods 3 through 5, we'll see that the total allocated to the base is 0. Thank you so much for joining us for this brief tutorial on preparing and completing the R&R budget form in Proposals S2S.